Hello everyone. Today I will talk about Leetcode question 1405, longest happy string. So a string is called happy if it doesn't have any of the following strings, such as AAA, BBB, and CCC. So given three integers A, B, and C, we want to return any string S which satisfies the following condition. So S is happy and the longest possible if S contains at most A occurrence of the letter A, at most B occurrence of letter B, and at most C occurrences of letter C. So S will only contain A, B, C letters. So the following example is if A is 1, B is 1, and C is 1, the output will be CCA, CCB, CC. Because this is the longest string that can output. So in this case, we can see that AAA, BBB, and CCC is not included in the output. So this condition is satisfied. And the second, we cannot find any longer string that is longer than the current CCA, CCB, CC. So but this output is not the only one, so CCB, CCA, CC will also be the other correct answer. The second example is A is 2, B is 2, and C is 1. So in this case, AA, BB, and C will be the answer, the longest string. And the last one, A is 7, B is 1, and C is 0. So in this case, AAB, AA, this one is the only correct one. So what is the pattern like in this kind of problem? So how can we check if we can add a char to the end of the string? So I think that is the key problem that we want to solve in this 1405 question. So can we add a char to the end of the string? So in this question, I define the result as res. So only two conditions that we can add a char to the result. The first condition is the string is 0, the length of the string is 0 or 1. In that case, we can add a char to the end of a string. The second condition is the last two bits of the result is different from the string we want to add. For instance, if the last one is, so at least one of the last two bits of the string is different from the char that we want to add. For instance, this one is A, the string ended with A and B. So in this case, B can add because B is not the same with A. Also, if this one is B and A, B can also add because B is not the same with this A. However, if this is BB, this B cannot add because B is the same with B and B. So in this case, we need to define a add function, can add function to check if a char can be added to the end of a string. So first, we define a can add function to implement this adding function. So def can add res char. So in this case, we check if these two conditions, if the length of res is less than 2 or char is not equal to res minus 1, which is the last bit of the string or char, is not equal to the second to the last char of the string. Okay, so this is a helper function that can help implement this can add function. The next part is the main body of this longest happy string. So first, we want to check how many chars in total to keep record of the whole function. So total will be A plus B plus C. So this is the total number of chars that we can add to the string. So if we consume all of this, the total will be 0. The second data structure that we want to use to keep the record of the number of A, B, and C will be a kind of like a counter, but in this case I define as a list of list. So I define as a dictionary. So diction is, so in this case A, the number of A will be A, and then the number of B will be B, and then the number of C will be C. So this is the dictionary to keep record of this A, B, and C, the number of A, B, and C. The third thing is we want to keep the algorithm as greedy as possible. That means every time we will pick from the most frequent item or the item with the largest count first, and then we pick up the next if the first one cannot be added to the string. So in this case, we will consume the most frequent chars in this question. So we also need a res to keep record keep the final result. So first we will have a while loop to keep track of the whole number of chars. So while total, and then we have diction. We need to sort the diction first, and then this time the key will be lambda x. Since we will sort the diction according to the second value of this list, we will have x1, and the reverse equals 2. So every time we need to resort this diction after if we consume one character in this example, if we consume one character. Next, so now we need to iterate over this diction to see whether the char can be added to the string. So for I, this is the index, and then what is the list of the list? That is the char together with its count. So in enumerate, then this enumeration is diction. So now we need to check if first, if the number of the char is 0, then we go to the next char. So in this case, if the number is 0, we continue to the next element. Otherwise, we check if we can add a char to the result. Okay, if we can add a char to the result, then what we need to do in this case? First, res needs to change to char. We add char to the end of the res, and then we need to decrease the total. The third step is we need to decrease of that char, right? So in this case, diction I diction I 1, which means the second index of this list will be -1. Okay, and since up to this step, the count of that character has been changed, I need to jump out of this for loop such that the diction needs to be resorted. However, for instance, in this case, A is 7, B is 1, C is 0. The output is AA, BAA. That means we didn't consume all the characters, right? So if none of the character can be added to the final string, we need to break the whole while loop, right? So instead of like running infinitely. So in this case, I prefer to use a Boolean variable, which is called add. I initialize as false to indicate whether this add function has been executed. So if this add function has been executed, that means we add a char to the string, so we can continue check other chars. However, if this add function is not executed, that means no char can be added to the end of the string. So we need to break the whole while loop, right? So in this case, add, I will change that one to true, right? So actually this add should be added to this part. So every time I will check if add has been changed by this if add function. So after the for loop, I need to check if add. If not add. So if this add hasn't been this add function hasn't been executed, I need to break the whole while loop, right? So finally, I return this result. So let's see how the code runs. Oh, there's a syntax error. Okay. Char equals char. Oh, sorry. Return should be return. Dictionary invalid syntax. Okay, should be this one. Okay, now this is accepted and it seems correct. So let's submit. Okay, great. So it's accepted and So hopefully you can enjoy my first video. Thanks.